I could sit here and eat this whole tray. It's currently 8 o'clock in the morning. And you're probably wondering, Maddie, what kind of intro is this? Where are you? I'm in bed. And I'm just about to get up. I'm gonna go make myself a cup of coffee and some cookies. And you're probably wondering, cookies, Maddie, at 8 o'clock in the morning? You're insane. Or you're probably thinking, wow, I wish I could make 8 a.m. cookies. Either way, yeah, I was gonna make them last night when I was also making muffins. However, I just didn't get to it because I was also making dinner at the same time I was making muffins, and it was like this whole thing. But now I'm determined, and I really want the cookies because I haven't stopped thinking about the cookies. So that's what we're gonna do, and this video might be short, it might be long, I don't know. Quick little shout out to a very good friend and fellow creative, Renika, aka Shadora Art Paintings on Instagram. Her socials are linked in the description box below. Definitely go check her out. And I just wanted to give a quick thank you for the video idea and just the recommendation of shooting this type of content. Anyway, let's get into baking. This is where I wish I had a tripod, but we're gonna make it work. First things first, we have to clean up from last night. Dishes, wipe the counter, put clean dishes away. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna speed through it. If it wasn't, you know, noticeable from my first video where I did a little bit of cooking, I basically have like a college dorm style kitchen. So we make do. So I don't know how much I like this camera angle. I might switch it just so you can actually see what I'm doing. First things first. Recipe. My recipe book is well loved and will continue to be well loved. So I'm going to start with dry ingredients and go from there. For dry ingredients, you start with a cup of flour, half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, and a quarter teaspoon of salt, but I don't usually use that much. I just do a little in my hand, and that's good enough. Whisk that together. And then I'm going to set this off to the side just for now. And now we're going to mix our wet ingredients. So, you want a half cup of unsalted butter, half a cup of sugar, a 1/4 cup of lightly packed brown sugar. So I just need to throw this in here quickly because I'm gonna mention it in a minute. However, I forgot to do the first step, which is cream together the butter and sugar. So basically what you're gonna do is take your butter and your sugar in a large bowl and mix it until it's smooth, and then add in the rest of your wet ingredients. I didn't do that. It doesn't make the recipe taste any different. It just makes them look different. That's it. They taste the same, they just look different. The perfect amount of leftover pumpkin for this recipe. So you're gonna do 1/2 cup of pumpkin in with your wet ingredients. There. You're then gonna take 1 large egg, crack it in there. I got ahead of myself. You're supposed to cream together the sugars and the butter. I added the pumpkin and the egg before doing that, so I'm gonna finish putting the wet ingredients in the bowl and just mixing it together. It's still gonna taste the same, but I just missed a step. Darn. Okay, so just to reiterate, in your first bowl, 1 cup of flour, 1/2 teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon cinnamon, 1 teaspoon pumpkin pie spice, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then in your second bowl, you're gonna have 1/2 cup of unsalted butter, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of pumpkin puree, 1 large egg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and then fold in a cup of chocolate chips. So now I'm just gonna mix this all together. And if my mom is watching, I just need to apologize in advance. I'm about to use the mixer, the electric mixer. In our family, we don't typically use mixers when baking cookies because Grandma would frown upon it. So I don't want to upset Grandma, and I don't want to upset my mom. However, I missed a step in baking these cookies, and I need the mixer because, yeah, at the end of the day, I messed it up. Therefore, I'm the one who has to do the extra dishes. Now you're going to add your dry ingredients. Slowly incorporating them into the batter. Alright. And once everything's incorporated, it should look something like that. I'm feeling really bad for not doing this properly, but we do the best with what we have. And I don't normally miss that step. I make these cookies all the time. You'd think I'd remember to do the first step. However, that's okay. They'll still taste the same. At this point, now that the batter's mixed, we're gonna fold in some chocolate chips and get our baking sheets ready. The recipe calls for a cup of chocolate chips, but I'm gonna measure with my heart on this one. Okay.
Another thing I'm throwing in here, right before I bake these cookies, I know I mentioned it before, I have a toaster oven. So if you have a bigger kitchen and a full-size kitchen, or full-size oven, sorry, you can put more on a sheet than I can. I can do about 6 cookies at a time, whereas in a full-size oven you can usually do like 12 to 24. So if you have a full-size oven, you can probably put this entire mix in one batch and then be done. However, I can't do that, so 6 cookies it is for me. Yeah. Anyway, enjoy watching the rest of this. Preheat your oven to 350. They're gonna puff up just a little. They are kind of cakey. And then bake at 350 for about 13 to 15 minutes. If you wanted to actually turn them into ball form, I would put the dough in the freezer for a little bit, like maybe an hour, maybe not even an hour, like 30 minutes, just so it firms up a little bit, and then it's easier to grab scoops of it, or to make it into ball shapes if that's what you so choose. The dough can be quite sticky, that's for sure. Now we wait. And as soon as that timer dings and your 13 to 15 minutes is up, you should be left with so good. So good. Even though I messed up, they're still great. Now, if you make these, comment below or tag me on Instagram and show me. I'm gonna link the original recipe below, and then I will also put my recipe in the description box because sometimes I tweak the recipes that I find online. These are just too good.